where you doing it on? What site are you doing it from?
Instagram. On point. Okay, I'm gonna do it from me.
Okay, wait. I'm doing what I have to. That song was D Nasty the Master. By who? Not D Nasty the teacher, but D Nasty the Master. Yes, I'm coming after with the style. Best believe that I keep it real. Snapshot every time, make him yield. Digital photographer up in the build. Who's that? Mr. Salim to the Fields. Yeah, did I say the name right? Did I mess it up? Could I keep on going or should I shut it up? Should I let it down or should I let it up? Best believe that the whole team, we about to get it up.
Okay.
Big shout out.
Yeah.
So that's how we do, Salim.
Yes, y'all.
Welcome, Salim Fields in the house, abstract artist,
Yes.
Hello.
Upper West Sider.
He got that cool vibe about himself.
He is. He's mad cool.
Hello.
I try.
That's your morning voice, huh, brother?
Sometimes,
Yo, I
yeah.
need some mad coffee. Pretty soon he's gonna be like, "Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah.
So Salim, welcome to OnPoint Experience.
Yeah.
We value you most importantly for you being the artist that you are. We've had a few artists on site as a host, as guests. We'd like to really talk to you about, again, understanding the work that you do and what made you really begin to think about art. So why don't you first tell us, a little bit about you?
All right. Well, first, says Salim, thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Yes.
I got into. I'm an abstract artist. I do a lot of contemporary paintings. I also do a little digital artwork and photography. Photography was always like that one thing I ran back to. When I was in school, it's funny. So you talk about why I got into painting. Earlier, I was making a reference about good times. That's actually how I got into painting. Because when I was little, the only black artist I ever saw on television was JJ, which was actually Ernie Barnes. So that's how I got into it because that's what I saw, a young black kid doing art. And I knew how to draw, so I was like, oh, I want to be like JJ, and who knew, years later, I'm doing art. So.
Let me ask you something, brother. First of all, congratulations, because I know that just being an artist, expression, it's hard for people to understand where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things I want to ask you, because being an artist, sometimes you tend to go on and on and on. How do you know when a project is finished?
You know what's funny? That's a popular question I get.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I'll be honest and say sometimes I never know. Because there could be a time when I just keep going and going and going, because especially with abstract, because it's not like I could just sketch it,
Right.
Because I'm creating, I'm growing an image as opposed to saying like, oh, you know what, I'm going to paint a picture of you and I'm going to put some flowers around it. Nah, I'm totally putting some imagery together, some colors. I do a lot of earth tones. So I just try and create just something beautiful so that when you look at it, it makes you think.
So do you step back and be like, I'm done?
I have to step back a lot. There's certain times I have to actually do more than one piece because if I'm working on one, I can never really see it because I keep going and going and going.
Right.
But when I work on more than one, there's times, like a friend of mine when I was in college, I was doing a painting of Stephon Marbury dribbling the moon, and I was doing it in my hallway, so it was real tight. And what wound up happening, my boy who was a painter at the time, I was studying film. I was just doing this as a hobby. But my boy comes down. He's like, oh, what you need to do is you need to walk away sometimes so when you come back, you can see it.
Yes, I agree with that one.
So I started doing that.
So when you began to do your artwork, when did you feel that it was okay to share it with people? Especially even as you begin to start making money, trying to sell it.
Well, it winds up that my son was living with me. It's like he was, I think, 17 at the time, and we was trying to figure out what he needs to do. So I wound up finding out that I had to go back to college to finish one credit. Mm-hmm. So I did, and I took an art class. And while I'm in this class is when I decided, like, wait, I need to go back to art because that's where that was my comfort zone. So whenever I used to get stuck, like I said, I used to do screenplays and write screenplays with film. Whenever I used to get stuck writing, I would paint to kind of get that creative juices
kind of break
flowing.
that, right.
Again, it goes back to, like I said, walking away to see it. I would walk away from one to see the other. So when I went back to school and I'm talking to my son, to lead by example, I was trying to bust my behind to do good so he could see this is how you should do it. And Then I'm like, wait, this is where I'm comfortable. And I'm talking to him about it, and it's like, where do you get comfort from? Because when you find comfort in your work, then you're willing to do it more and do more. So that's how I got into
Were
painting.
you always a digital artist? Because I'm wondering were you doing art before the age of internet, and how did you get shown? Like, or were you already, was the internet already in existence and you were able to like enter that field and create your own shows and create your own audience?
No, I think I got into it later. Like I got into it with
The internet.
internet, right? Because like I said, I was writing more. I was doing
And
more
even
screen
in
work.
that space before internet, how did you promote the work that you do, being an African American in an industry that is so vanilla?
Oh boy, because like unfortunately, it is about like who you know. Sometimes like it's unfortunate because we all are taught, go to school, learn this, and you can go far.
Right.
It's
In
not for
sometimes,
us.
yeah, no. And then it's even worse for us because like I worked on the first season of Oz when I first got out of college.
Yeah, I think.
And me too. And it was funny because
He's like, yeah, me too.
No, it was funny. Like when I first started, people thought I was one of the actors. So at first I'm like, I'm feeling myself like, I must look
But then
good.
you're
And y'all
like-
got me thinking I'm an actor, and I'm like,
Wait a
wait a minute, it's a
minute.
jail show.
Exactly.
So, but unfortunately, I was behind the scenes, and the woman, I don't even remember her name at the time, but she was the only black woman that was above me. So we were like the only two black people working on this set at that time, behind the scenes.
Was it Michelle Obama?
Stop it.
And it was sad that she kind of kept me away from the set. So I'm doing like the PA work, which is basically a peon work. Cause she's like, since you're here, sweep.
And get my coffee.
But when you first starting out, you're gonna do whatever. So it's like, all right, you want me to sweep? I'm gonna sweep. You want me to put up lights? I'm gonna put up lights. All right, cool. Can I go to set though? No.
Wow.
Oh.
Like, well, why am I here?
Remember her name? No. It's
So it's unfortunate. They wound up putting me at a desk to answer phones. And I'm sitting here, and this back then, this checks was in the mail.
Right.
It wasn't no direct deposit back then. So I'm literally waiting for a check with kids. So now I'm like, well, if you're gonna have me sitting at a desk, I can't go on set. I can't further my education here. I guess I need to leave, and I wound up going to corporate America because I'm answering phones anyway, but I'm getting a paycheck at the end of the week
And benefits.
and benefits. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's important. So that's how it was real hard, but unfortunately, it is about who you know, and unfortunately, and especially in the film industry, I don't know about now because, like I said, I'm far from that. But at that time, if you are black and on a set, be happy. So you can't bring nobody else.
Back on the scene, crispy and clean. You say you do art, but your art's not Salim. Art question for you.
Go ahead.
What was the first piece of art that you sold and got a check for?
Actually, the first piece of art I sold was to one of my good friends. That was like a support. The friends always, should support each other.
Right.
So my first piece was a friend of mine started a restaurant and they needed a piece. So I gave him like a really good deal too because
Right.
I'm thankful. But that was my first piece of art, and I think it was called. It was definitely an abstract piece, A Hint of Sage.
Oh, okay.
A Hint of
Hint of
Sage.
sage. I like that.
But unfortunately, the message behind that was that their child had passed away, and the child's name was Sage.
Oh man.
No.
still
Actually,
good. I mean,
it
that's
was
still
good.
good.
It was
It's
dope
still
for
good.
them.
It's
Like
still
that's what they,
Yeah,
it helped them.
memories, yeah.
Because, like I said, it was a hint of sage, and the imagery was that it was like a green painting with a lot of spots in it, and then you see two figures standing. So the sage was really in the middle of the two
I
figures.
got you.
So it was about their child still being around them.
Okay.
So like, because I used to do a lot of work, and I think when I first started doing paintings, I was a little depressed, and I was doing a lot of dark colors, and nothing sold.
Right. Right.
Right.
Then I switched up.
Black on black on black.
Unless you put a little gloss on it, and you get a little shiny, it might sell. But it's funny because when I got out of that little funk that I was in, I started learning how to paint colorful pictures with dark colors, and that's a difference.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so and then also I started praying a little bit more on my artwork. So if you look at a lot of my titles, they are spiritual. I'm not going to say it's like, you know, it's all Christian or it's whatever, because I want to be open to everybody.
Right.
So it's more about your connection with your God, you know, because I know my
Gotcha.
connection with my God.
Got you.
So when I started doing that with my artwork, I started realizing how people started coming to it, appreciating a little bit more, and I actually started selling more.
I got a 2-part question for you, right? I know when I'm trying to create, it's sometimes I have to go into a certain energy. You know what I mean? I understand that kind of withdrawing yourself from the project, but when Salim is actually in that want to create, right? Paint for us, no pun intended, but paint for us the how do you go into that closet where now it's time to create? You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And my second question, brother, what is your favorite painting tool?
My favorite painting tool, I'm gonna go backwards. My favorite painting tool is, believe it or not, alcohol spray bottle.
Why is that?
Because I do a lot of acrylic work, and when I spray some alcohol on some of the paint, the way that it absorbs it, it breaks it down. It's like a little chemical imbalance stuff. I love it, you know. And someone that taught me this again in college, a friend showed me this, and it's
Graffiti
like, it was
artist?
dope. No, I was actually really good in graffiti, but I was never gonna draw on stuff.
So your second part of
My second part. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Here to keep us focused, bro.
How do I do it? A lot of times, I'll close myself in. When it's time to paint, I'll close myself in. I do pray a lot, so I tend to pray before I start a new piece, and see where I can go with it. So what I do is I sit. I don't listen to music. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I actually binge watch a lot. Like I'll watch like a TV show. Like one year, one summer I was painting. I did a series and was watching like Dexter.
Oh.
You know, because sometimes you don't really watch it,
Right.
but you hear people talking and it just keeps you going. And
Were you
know.
traumatized? Because
Well,
that
thank God there's
traumatized
no
me.
black on black on black with gloss with Dexter.
Not with Dexter.
Not
Not
with
with
Dexter.
Dexter.
Blood.
But you know,
red.
you do a lot of spray and splatter.
Yeah.
You know.
And like red.
I believe we have a call.
They hung up.
I believe we have a call on the line.
No.
Okay.
What
Well, you
would
know,
you
somebody's
say?
trying to say something.
Oh,
So go ahead.
Sorry.
What would you say is your would be like your most challenging painting a piece of art that you ever made, ever created?
I just recently did a commission piece where it was a football piece. It was the Giants. I did an Eli Manning and Odell Beckham piece.
It's a great piece. That must be a
Oh,
great
yeah.
piece.
All right.
Before you do that, real quick, we have a call.
Okay.
I need to stop on that point too. Giants
We gonna
picture.
bring that back.
Bring
Okay.
it right back. Giants picture. Hi, you listening to OnPoint Experience. Hi, you're listening to OnPoint Experience.
Hello, check. Hello, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
It's your boy Chauncey B. This is DJ Chauncey B.
Oh,
Wow.
Jersey City.
What's up?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Not much, man. I was like, yo, you know what? I rolled over. The phone is on. I hit Toys Facebook. Yeah, I popped right up on my screen.
Oh, Chauncey, did you just have a birthday?
Yeah, you was looking pretty sharp in those pictures,
Happy
brother.
birthday.
It's a month and a half away. Like 2 months away. My birthday is July 21st.
Oh.
No plug. So, Chauncey, we got a guest, Salim Fields, on, who's an artist. Is there something you'd like to say to him?
Hey, brother, I'm impressed. I'm listening to him like, yo, I thought I was an artist at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to everything he's talking, right? So at the same time, I would actually try to use some of the techniques to really, get my artwork going. But I felt that art wasn't my thing. Art wasn't for me. I didn't have the patience or nothing. He had super patience. So,
Thank you.
definitely, I commend him, man. I commend you on every level, brother.
But you're an artist on the wheels of steel, though, Chauncey.
I was about to say we all have different art is wide. You know, I remember I got into an argument with one of my teachers one time, and I said, you know, for a cook, a chef, their plate is a palette. You know, when they think about it, you know, you put some greens, you put some white on the plate with some meat. You know, you want that a particular color of that particular meat. So that's visual. That's art.
Wow, that's true.
You know, when somebody cuts hair, that's art.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when is your next art, party that we need to go to, Chauncey? What's the next event?
You want to argue now, we argue later.
What you say?
I said, you want to argue now, we argue later. I'm actually
He will be at DJ Con as a DJ representing New Jersey this year.
I get to meet him finally. So thanks a lot for calling.
Yeah, I got to come to you guys. You know what I mean? I got to come all the way over there to
That's
you
true.
to shake up the city.
Oh, stop it. All right. okay, my bad.
I will be at, what's that, DJ Con?
Yep.
That's DJ Con, right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
On the 25th.
Next
So we'll see you
Wednesday, I
next.
think.
Yeah, next
Wednesday.
The Wednesday after next. That's right. The Wednesday
Yes,
after next.
we'll be there to really
Yeah.
have a good time and enjoy myself, man. I actually want to see what the outlook is, you know, get comfortable and then go crazy out there.
All right. So
That's what's up.
we'll be there. So thanks again, Chauncey B, for coming on OnPoint Experience. And whenever you feel
No
free,
doubt, man.
always call us whenever
And
you
keep
roll
up the
over.
good work, brother. Keep up the good art, brother.
Thank you.
Real
Thank
talk. On a serious note, man, keep doing your thing. Keep pushing the ticket, brother.
Appreciate it.
Peace and love, y'all, man. I'm about to go, you know, count some sheep a little bit more up for the day.
That's so
Because
kind.
nobody really knew, but I'm off today. No, I'm off today.
I think they know now. I think they know now,
What?
Chauncey. All right. Have a good
But
day.
yeah, you too. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. Bye.
You know, it's a good thing when we have callers calling that's listening and sharing, because you never know who you inspire.
Yeah.
So I think you were sharing with us, we have a couple of minutes left, Salim. You were sharing with us a really good point
Giants.
about the Giants.
Oh.
The Giants. Yeah, absolutely.
Take a seat, Will. You might want to listen
Come on
to this,
back,
Will.
Will.
Come
Thanks.
back, Will.
Go ahead.
So this was a little challenging because it was a little something different for me because it took me out of my comfort zone, but that's also why I wanted to do it. Because, you know, you always want to challenge yourself. So I'm doing this piece, and at the same time, I'm working I'm working 9 to 5 at the time. So I'm like trying to come home, dedicate a couple of hours to this painting. And as I'm doing it, you know, slowly but surely, and it's coming along. And like, as I'm working on Odell, right when I finish Odell, he hurts his knee. So I'm like, oh man, all right. You know, now I've got to try and help him get this painting to this client because like, all right, that one person just went down. Then right when I finish the Eli side, he gets benched. I'm like,
Oh my God, you're a jinxer.
right? And I'm like, all right, I gotta hurry him finish. So I had to hurry him finish his painting before the person said, I don't want it no more.
Let him finish.
They just being the Giants, baby.
You know, but it's like you're trying to hurry him and get something done. And I was trying, and that's the problem I was having is trying to get this painting done as quickly as possible before something else went wrong with the
goodness.
Giants. So that was a little
We need to
complicated.
draw a Dallas Cowboy picture next week.
Oh God,
Oh God. She's fighting with. She's picking a fight.
no.
She's picking a fight.
Priest gonna call
I
back.
plan on doing a New York Knicks painting soon
Oh.
because I'm a New York Knicks.
That's absolutely right.
Hey, I was a Laker fan too. Magic Johnson was when I came into when I
All right,
started
what
watching
you do?
basketball. It was
That's
Magic.
what's
That's the 80s.
Yeah, sure.
All
I
right.
can understand 80s.
Yeah.
For those listening to it now who watch Lakers now, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, you know.
So Salim, tell me, what's next? What's up for you? Because we
All
talk
this
about
stuff
the
right now
Giants.
Oh,
We
next-
digressing, huh? We digressing for you.
Well, what's next for me? I gotta just focus on some new artwork. I'm trying some new things out. Like I said, I'm always trying to grow.
Right.
I plan on doing a couple of paint and sips soon. You know, I want to do that.
That's dope.
It's time to do a show. I haven't done a show in like 2 years. I think my last show.
Sponsored by OnPoint Experience.
Thank you. My last show did very well. I sold actually 3/4 of my show, which is amazing,
Wow.
which is
That's
a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
Like I literally had to re-put some paintings up because I sold.
Wow.
But so
Amazing.
it's time to do it again. You know. So yeah, that's my next thing.
So we have another call. Hi, caller. You're listening to OnPoint Experience. Hi, you're listening to OnPoint Experience. Yeah, so this is really great, Salim. I mean, I think that the work that you continue to do and sharing part of yourself is just so like selfless. You know,
Thank you.
everyone can't do that. Sometimes we you know, we just hold it in. We just have pictures all around our house. But to be able to share that with people is great. And if you can benefit from it financially,
And
that's
it's
also
nerve-wracking.
good. Is it really?
Oh yeah, because you're putting your soul out for
Yeah,
people to see.
exactly.
You know, and
That's
to
right.
critique.
That's right.
Exactly.
You
Like,
never know what's going to be said.
Right. You
That's
know.
true. So that being said, I just want to thank you again. If you want to check out Salim, it's www.salimfields, SalimFields.com. That is the most simplest website ever.
You can't get
yeah.
that wrong.
Oh yeah, exactly. So thank you all.
No problem, brother.
Appreciate y'all inviting me here and letting me have this platform.
No
It's a
doubt.
blessing. So
And we'll,
keep up the good work.
No, thank
Thank you.
Okay. Be right back. We have another great guest. Take us out, Queen.